Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of my watercolor Christmas card series. These two cards that we'll be painting today are probably my favorites out of the entire series, so let's just get right into them. For the first one, we're going to be painting an icy cave backdrop with red ornaments hanging in front. So you want to start off by taping the borders of your watercolor piece of paper. I used Scotch tape, but you can use whatever tape you have available. And then you want to cover your entire piece of paper with a light wash of water using a mop brush. As always, I've included the links to all my products that I use in the description should you want to add them to your collection. The links, if you use them, they're at no extra cost to you, but I do get some commission out of them, which helps me to continue to make these tutorials for you. So check them out if you're interested. So what you're essentially doing here is dabbing on water over and over and over, not water, but pigment, so watercolor over and over again until you've achieved this sort of gradient that fades towards the center. So you want to start off by using a light blue color and then slowly adding more layers, more darker layers of blue and potentially even some black mixed in with the blue. But you want to make sure that you're leaving the center white so that there is a stark contrast between the edges of your cave and the center of the cave. You can even dab some dots here and there that are a little bit closer to the center just to make the painting look a little bit more mystical, but it's totally up to you. While it is still wet, you want to take some white acrylic paint and dab it onto the painting. I'm not really sure what the science is behind this, but I discovered this a while ago that if you flick on white acrylic paint onto a wet watercolor surface, they sort of disperse when they hit, the drops disperse when they hit the watercolor, and it gives it this mystical look. I don't know, it just looks really cool. So I started using it in a lot of my paintings. Once it has completely dried, you want to repeat that same process of flicking white watercolor paint, white acrylic paint onto your painting, and this will, the droplets won't disperse like they did when it was wet, so it'll look really mystical, like there's a lot of snow falling. And you can even draw on some larger white acrylic paint stars if you want to add a little bit more pizzazz to the card. Once that layer has completely dried, you can start painting on your ornaments. You can of course sketch them out like I did first. I think I drew in 5 or 6 ornaments in different places, and you can even use something circular to help you trace a perfect circle, but I freehanded them because it's not so important that they're perfect. I think the background of this painting is what makes it look so magical, so I didn't care so much about what my ornaments looked like. You can also choose to use whatever color you would like. I went with red because I thought it was a nice contrast to the beautiful blue icy cave background. Once your ornaments have completely dried, you want to take either a black pen or a black fine tip marker and just draw on bows on the top of your ornaments, and of course connect them to the top of the card with a black line, obviously insinuating a string. You can use either a ruler or just the edge of a piece of paper or a card. Just make sure that your ornaments are completely dry before doing this step, otherwise you will smudge them and then ruin all of your hard work. Finally, you can write in your Christmas greeting. I've written Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays on so many cards that I wanted to change it up a bit, so I wrote Merry and Bright. First, I wrote it in pencil because I frequently make mistakes, and then I went over it with a black fine tip marker. You can also choose to add some designs to your ornaments because I thought they looked a little bit plain, just being a solid red color, or you can leave them the way that they are. Don't forget to peel the tape off your card and you're all finished. For the next card, we are going to be painting the top portion of a reindeer head, so mainly focusing on the antlers here. So I have very lightly sketched out just a reindeer head, a very simple silhouette. So it's just the top of the head in a curved moon shape, followed by 2 ears that stick out from that curved moon shape, and then your antlers you want to sketch out to the inside of the ears. And I really encourage you to sketch out the antlers with a pencil first because they are quite, angular and they kind of go everywhere, so it's nice to have sort of a shape to follow while you're painting these in. But you're going to take a darker brown color, even a little bit of black mixed in, and you're just going to fill in the antlers that you sketched out with a pencil. Once your first layer has dried, you can go over the antlers again just to intensify the contrast between the antlers and the deer head. So you can actually go over both, but you can do whatever you choose here. Once you're happy with the opacity of your antlers, you can paint 2 circles that are going to be the ornaments that are hanging off the antlers. You can paint those in whatever colors you choose, but don't forget to connect them with a black line to the antlers so they look like they're hanging. I also wrote in my holiday greeting being jingle bells, and I also added some designs to the ornaments to make them a little bit more fancy. And that's about it. Thank you so much for watching this tutorial. Don't forget to check out part 1 and part 3. Subscribe, like this video, and I will see you next week in the next video.